Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the case of Jose Decastro versus the state of Nevada. This case was taking place in Clark County. This case took place because Mr. Decastro had recorded law enforcement, and when he proceeded into court, this is what happened: is the court denied him a First Amendment right to freedom of press. And today we're going to be just talking about his right to freedom of press and his constitutional rights and privileges protected under not just the United States Constitution, but also the state of Nevada under Article 1, Section 9. I also want to thank the members of Reno Auditors and other members whose names slip me by right now, who contributed to this information in aiding me in finding out that he had violated his rights and privileges. And I just want to give you guys a shout out and say thank you for contributing to this video today. So let's get started on this video, and I'll show you today how Mr. Decastro's rights were violated. Let's get going and let's get this video started. Here we go.
Are you Mr. Decastro?
Can
Can you turn off your phone, please? The one
Yeah,
that's in your hand.
Just communicating with my lawyer. He's on his way here now. So I'm just waiting for him to get
All right, I'm gonna wait for your attorney, okay?
there. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Jose Decastro, 23 CR 013015.
Good morning, Your Honor. Agnes Botello and Nathan Cave for the record. Good morning, State.
Good morning, Michael. Me on behalf of the defendant is present with me this morning.
So I have signed 2 media requests that permit recording or photographing these proceedings, but I have not granted any other requests to record or live stream these proceedings. So I need Mr. Decastro and everybody else who wants to stay in the courtroom to surrender their phones, or you can leave.
Are your phone covered and I'll take one or you can exit.
I need Mr. Decastro to empty all of his pockets.
What's that?
Empty your pockets
and give up your phones to the judge.
Okay.
I have to give you my phones?
Yeah.
My phones have to be completely off.
Yep. I don't really want to be part of your YouTube channel. So,
You already are.
great,
You already are.
awesome.
I'm not gonna get into this guy though. I'll get into someone else. I'm not touching
No,
myself.
no, they're gonna go to my marshal.
He's a pig.
Excuse me?
I said he's a pig.
Okay. So I'm not gonna permit you to speak to anybody in my courtroom in that manner, and if you don't want to apologize, I'm gonna hold you in contempt.
I apologize to the court, Your Honor.
No, you can apologize to, they've done nothing to you.
Actually, Your Honor, when you were here, you came over and gave me a directive for no reason and started telling me what to do.
Okay,
I
well,
have all the respect and love for the court. I follow the rule of law all the time. I
no,
trust
it
the
is their job to maintain the safety and security of the courtroom.
I agree with you, Your Honor.
So if you want to speak like that in my courtroom, I'm going to hold you in contempt. And if I hold you in contempt, you're going to jail. That is not my wish. Okay?
I wish you good.
All right. So I need you to empty your pockets too. Suit pocket, pants pocket.
This is illegal. This is a violation of my Fourth Amendment.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. I don't have any recording devices on me. What are you talking about?
How about your suit jacket?
I don't have anything on me. This is preposterous.
No, it's
This
not.
really is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Mr. Me, your phone too. Off.
They're recording everything.
They have a media request.
Right, and I'm not recording anything. Your guy here took my phone, so his phone's not on.
All right.
You have to take the lawyer's phone too?
No, I'm not going to take the lawyer's phone. He's an officer of the court. All right. Do we have everybody's phones? Are they off? All right, good. All right. All right, this is the time set for the trial of State of Nevada versus Jose Decastro, 23 CR 013015. Is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
How many-
Comment there. You see what they just did there? They just violated the right to freedom of press, violated the person's right to freedom of speech by saying that they can't call the cop a fucking pig, and these are violations of the Constitution. Now, I had found a video of a man named Auditing Reno 911. and this man had made a video where he talks about what it is to be a press and what it means to disseminate and share and spread news. So let's take a look at that video right now.
This is being recorded by the court already, and that he could ask for a copy of that. How does that impact your analysis, if at all?
My concern would be his heavy editing that he's known for, editing all content of either sheriff's office recorded videos or others to sway and basically whip up attention to his case, which he monetizes.
And if he did get a copy of the courts digitally, he could still edit, I assume.
I'm not sure procedurally how that works. Obviously, my attorneys would be aware of him editing those and publishing those, so I'm not sure exactly how him receiving that would be a conflict, in my opinion. Obviously, it's public record, but he has a history very well documented of what he's doing with the content of his videos now, as well as public record videos that he's obtained from the sheriff's office.
Mr. Rebar, to you, have you received court or other public recordings and been able to edit them and post them after the events as opposed to just your own live ones?
Yes.
I love how he doesn't hesitate there because he knows he isn't doing anything wrong.
Are you monetizing this stuff?
Just like MSNBC, just like CNN, just like ABC, when people view things are monetized. Just like all of the major media that's existed in this country for a couple of hundred years or across the world, if you want to get old school, has media always been monetized? Have people always paid for newspapers? That's just a historical thing. I don't understand the argument that it's because it's monetized, it's not journalism. The Supreme Court, the courts have, how do you define journalism? Let's get into Article 1, Section 9 of the Nevada Constitution. That's freedom of press, freedom of speech. No law shall be passed to abridge speech or press. We all have freedom of speech in this country, freedom of speech in the state of Nevada under our Nevada Bill of Rights. We all have the ability to be members of a free press, whether it's you, Your Honor, whether it's Deputy Bueno, whether it's me. We all have the right to gather and disseminate information to other people in our communities or across the world as the technology will permit. Whether it was the printing press hundreds of years ago where the church was trying to suppress the printing press because they didn't want the information out there, to the modern day now.
To record, I'm looking at the statutory factors or the rule factors, impact on the right of a party to a fair trial, right of privacy of any party or witness, impact upon safety and well-being of any witness or juror, or the likelihood that the coverage would distract the participants or detract from the dignity of the proceedings. Any comment on those? I know I listed a lot.
Specifically the stalking, NRS 200-575, and then obviously subsection 1, which outlines without lawful authority, willfully and maliciously engages in a course of conduct.
Right, but hang on. We're just talking about this particular hearing, not whether there was stalking, not the underlying allegations. For the purposes of this hearing, let me just slow down a little. Do you think that this hearing would inhibit either party's ability to get a fair trial? Would it inhibit you some way or me some way? Obviously he wants it, so I don't assume it wouldn't inhibit him.
I believe his intended use is to sway as much opinion as possible to curry his favor. I believe that he would post those videos, which would in turn create more threats that I'm receiving daily. I believe that's what his intention is.
What about the impact? Does coverage upon the right of privacy or any party or witness, any privacy concerns?
I do. Privacy is obviously a concern as it's been violated as a result of his actions.
Comments upon if he's simply allowed to record the impact upon the safety and well-being of any party or witness, you or any witness?
Yes, sir.
What's your thoughts on safety if he's recording you?
The safety issues that I would be concerned about, which began the situation, is the doxing, where he's publicly producing information related to me My family members have been contacted. Locations of my children's schools have been revealed, all instituting a threat that's been initiated by Mr. Rebar's unlawful actions. Again, the privacy would be of concern. To release more information subject to this case, I believe, would damage and create more of a safety risk for my family as well.
Part D, likelihood that any coverage, him recording it, would distract participants, you, or detract from the dignity of these proceedings.
I believe it would.
Why?
I'm sorry?
Why? I mean, how would it be distracting if the camera's sitting there recording?
Because the source of what he's doing with that information and how he is twisting all facets of this case that have been proven through documentation and investigation and through the sheriff's office and the DA's office, he is knowingly, falsely making statements online using these recordings and proceedings and anything else that he makes, which is causing the threats towards myself and family. And I believe that having his camera in here is another intimidation tactic by himself that he's clearly using throughout all of his videos, that he's clearly trying to introduce to the courtroom today under the false pretense that he is a journalist.
You say there's, I think, lots of videos out there. Have you seen any videos where it appears he's in the past received copies from the court and used those or edited those?
I haven't seen the court videos at this time, no. He has recovered the sheriff's office body camera videos under public information requests, and those have been edited and spliced and
Objection, that's not factual.
used for his advantage.
But he's had the ability to get them and post them.
Yes, sir.
You say he's edited them somehow. Mr. Rebar, to you, have you received court or other public recordings and been able to edit them and post them after the events as opposed to just your own live ones?
Yes.
Your benefit of your recording device as opposed to obtaining a copy of the court's?
I controlled my recording device. For example, I requested a record of my criminal trial where Deputy Bueno illegally arrested me and hotbox tortured me on a 95-degree day, closing the windows.
Hang on a second. That didn't go to trial, did it?
No, the case was dismissed.
Okay, hang on.
The case was dismissed. I would reference, Thompson versus Clark out of the Supreme Court of the United States. I referenced that in the documents that I gave you. But unless he gets a conviction, you've done a malicious prosecution is basically what the Supreme Court of the United States has said.
Okay, and I'm not here to litigate whether it was
but as far as
truly appropriate back at the prison or not. I'm here to look at, regardless of the truth of that, I guess there's an angle on lawfulness, but regardless of that, whether an order, protective order, is needed.
Let me get back to your question, sir.
So the recording, that's what I'm getting at.
Right.
Like right now, like if you were recording, your camera is going to be in a fixed position. It's not going to be being moved around. The courts are automatically picking up mics and moving. So I guess why the additional extra and different?
I just got a copy of the court record for my criminal trial, and I ordered that. I paid the court some money. So number one, in this one, I don't have to pay the court money for a recording that I already own. But number two, on the recording that I paid for from the court, there was a recording of the video, but there was no audio. So I paid money to the court for a video recording, but no audio, so I can't use it.
It was a glitch that prevented something. You want a backup.
So I want a backup so I don't have any glitches, so I control the recording, and so I don't have to pay the court money for something that I can produce on my own. Without any interference, as I sit here, I can set up I brought a tripod, so if you need it to stand somewhere else, I brought a tripod that can sit on the table. I can put it wherever you want. It's an inanimate object that just sits there just like your cameras and documents the reality of what happened.
Is recording, not live streaming, is that correct?
I think I was live streaming one of...
What you want, you're saying you want cameras in the courtroom. Are you wanting live stream or are you wanting simply to record?
I'd like to do both if I can. If I could live stream, that would be even better. That's more real. As Deputy Bueno is discussing, he's concerned about editing. If I'm live streaming, there is no editing, it's just live. And I do a lot of live streaming.
Your Honor, it goes beyond his editing, it goes all on his content and his false representations of everything that he posts. The video that he posted most recently yesterday that he's referring to was titled "Coward Deputy No Bueno Filed a Restraining Order," and then without any type of check or balance has free license to commit libel.
When was that posted yesterday?
That was yesterday afternoon, I think just after 3 o'clock. He was aware. He also filmed himself making contact with the servers that were trying to serve him. But the point that I'm trying to make about the videos and the camera...
Hang on. Describe that. Filmed himself with people trying to serve him.
Can you speak up one more time?
You're stating that he filmed himself when people were trying to serve him. What do you mean by that?
He filmed another monologue outlining his opinions on the service, of him obtaining a business card from his residence, and then went on to describe roughly what he just was trying to talk about as well.
How long ago was that up? Was it yesterday or?
It was yesterday afternoon, before 4 o'clock. I was in a meeting with admin about that time. But again, sir, the point being is that Mr. Rebar has clearly gone beyond his First Amendment right when he has knowingly produced libelous slander and defamation against myself. He's done it in this courtroom today when he talks about torture and false arrest. He's been provided with investigations from the sheriff's office when he made a complaint of torture.
Yes, like those ultimate underlying decisions, maybe they are, maybe they aren't, but there's not been a finding and an adjudication of them yet. And again, my issue right now is just recording, not recording. I have some fairly broad discretion, or the rules, I should say, have some fairly broad discretion in this area. The rule does, hang on a second, using my phone for the rule. This is 230 subsection 2, a presumption that the courtroom proceedings are open to the public. To be precise, there's a presumption that all courtroom proceedings that are open to the public, and this is, I'll note that no one's here. No one cares enough to come down, apparently, despite their interest.
Got a professional camera, tripod, and other tools to professionally record and document and disseminate information.
This one is a difficult decision in that the underlying allegations include posting and alleged editing of material that has potentially caused issues for the applicant. In the application, references to others being riled up and reaching out to him, purportedly stoked by Mr. Rebar's postings is the argument. The detraction from the dignity of the proceedings or the party's ability to not be distracted in answering in process is in my mind when it's over and above the court ones. Again, the court ones record by video and audio. The feed automatically adjusts between the players to capture. There's been evidence that in the past, audio recording has failed and video only has come through for whatever reason. That is always a potential, as this is at the heart of the matter and likely to be posted and likely very duplicative of the record the court makes that may fail from time to time, but is unlikely to fail. I don't think that I can say that Mr. Rebar is not a reporter. The timing gives me some concern. The distraction of the additional gives me quite a bit of concern. The delay, like I said, cuts both ways, but what I'm going to do is allow a supplement of the record. If Mr. Rebar wishes to turn on the camera, have it at me, collect me and the voices of the parties, that can happen. And I'm finding under the subsection 2 of Rule 230 that is reasonable despite the late request and is the least distracting to the parties, especially given that this is the underlying, one of the underlying allegations or issues in the case. If you want to set that up and point it at me, Feel free. Questions in my mind are the factors I'm supposed to consider: the impact of the coverage, the privacy issues, the safety and well-being of individuals, the detraction from the dignity of the proceedings, and the type of coverage and the adequacy of the facilities. For the sake of completeness, for Mr. Rebar, when we started, we had been talking since the beginning of this about his initial request, whether or not he could record the proceedings. I have examined Rule 229, 230, and the like regarding his ability to record. I have authorized a limited ability to record to protect the dignity of the proceedings and the individual's focus and ability to not be distracted. The limitations that I have posted or ordered are that the camera, again, can be posted at me or directed at me. It can record audio of anything else in the courtroom. That's the extent of my ruling. I'm not, again, ruling whether or not he can do anything with the recording.
So I'd like to go over some rules of court in the state of Nevada, specifically Rule 229 defining the scope of reporter. If you look at subsection C here, it says a news reporter shall include any person who gathers, prepares, collects, photographs, records, writes, edits, or publishes any information that concerns local, national, or international events or other matters of public interest for dissemination of public, meaning that there's a broad spectrum for people who are news reporters, such as Mr. Decastro. This shall include gathering, collecting photographs, writing or editing, publishing or concerning local or national events or matters of the public interest, disseminated for public interest. The fact that he is disseminating interest on law enforcement defined by Nevada Statute Rule 229, he is considered a news reporter and has the right to record law enforcement. Now, the statute NRS 1233, it says a person who is not under arrest, which when Mr. Castro approached the car, he was not under arrest, may record police officers and law enforcement activity and maintain the custody and control of the recording and property or instruments used by the person recording law enforcement. So when the officer took his phone and his property, the judge, they violated his rights to record law enforcement and record public proceedings. Now, if you look at proceeding, a manner in a trial and hearing in proceedings, any trial, hearing, or motion or hearing to order a show of cause or petition any other matter held in open court which is the public is entitled to attend. The fact that they would not allow them to record within the courtroom people who were not mainstream media, even though Nevada Supreme Court rules shield laws apply to digital journalists, and the fact, if you look at the case of Fortrice versus Seattle in '95, you can see that this is good case law that supports the right to record law enforcement in the duties and broadcast on public access television, and that you have the right to do so. I mean, what the officers have done was highly illegal. What the judicial officer did was highly illegal by not allowing him to record in the courtroom when there's more than enough basis for him to record. And the fact that people like Michael Means didn't actually do his job and make the appropriate arguments, and his appellate attorney also didn't make the appropriate arguments. They had no clue what they were doing. Clearly, his First Amendment and constitutional rights had been violated. The officer said it was for officer safety. Well, Castle Rock versus Gonzalez states that in a 7-2 ruling that the department could not be sued for failing to enforce. They had no duty or obligation to protect. That's good case law. You should go check that out and realize that. Now, you have to remember, even the Nevada Constitution, Article 1, Section 9, allows the citizen may freely speak, write, and publish his sentiments on subjects responsible for all abuse of that right. The fact that Mr. Decastro has been talking about the judge and been being silenced for that under Article 1, Section 9, the fact is that they violated his free speech and free right to record the proceeding. That is not a camera for the courts because the audio was poor. I mean, let's look at the Constitution here. Congress shall make no law respecting or establishing or prohibiting free exercise or abridgment of speech or press, the right for the people to peacefully assemble and to petition the government for grievances. That was completely stifled by the courts and by Anna Zimmerman. This behavior is wrong because these are open courts and they are presumed to be open. Now, you can see Nevada Statute 24105 and Nevada Statute 383. You can see them there. I know. I'll show you here. These are the rules governing all local meetings and public forums, meaning that they cannot have a closed forum and they cannot forbid you from recording. This includes educational societies are considered open. It says an open meeting includes an entity considered a character allegedly misconduct, competency, or physical health of a person, like a judge. These individuals administer and grade examinations, conduct on behalf of a public body, or considered an appeal of an examination of conduct on behalf of the body. Nevada Code 241.03. And here's another good case law. Stockmeyer versus Nevada Department of Corrections, a psychology review. A government body is an agency established for a civic organization and may be considered a public body if its intent to perform any administrative, advisory, or executive or legislative function of state or local government. So basically, what they had done is they had stifled the right to free speech, stifled the right to the Fourth Amendment, and willfully violated not just his constitutional rights on a federal level, but as well as state and federal statute, as well as state and federal constitution. These are the people that we are hiring and putting into office. People like Anna Zimmerman. People like Officer Brandon Bork, who is violating the laws and privileges of others and doesn't even understand the basic concepts of the Constitution and right to free speech. In closing, if you go to a state and you go to do an auditing, make sure you understand the laws within that state so that you can be well prepared and well defended. Individuals who do not understand what the laws are and go to these states, such as let's for example say I have a gun and I go to the state like Louisiana, whose gun laws are different from the state of California. Well, I don't know the laws in Louisiana, and the laws that apply here don't apply over there. So the thing is, we have to understand the basic concepts of law. And I don't think that the legislative body, Anna Zimmerman, or the court followed or abided by the court rules. And violated his rights and privileges. I think that Mr. Decastro has a mistrial. and has an opportunity to file a mistrial for the error made. Thank you for watching this video and listening to me rant and rave. If you've made it this far, congratulations. If not, well, better luck next time. If you like these videos and you like the information that I'm sharing about the Constitution and all the privileges and rights that you have and better understand the law, please like and subscribe to this page for more content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, have a great day.